I'm Chef Kelly, and this is what I do.
Hi, my name is Kate. I'm with Two Unique Caterers and Event Planners, and today I'm going to show you how to make a s'mores all grown up. With our s'mores all grown up, we have 3 simple layers that are really easy to make at home, and that's what I want to show you today. Before we start, I want to show you a couple things that you're going to need in your kitchen just to get started. For starters, I use my scissors to cut my marshmallows. I use a cookie cutter. It doesn't matter what shape, but I use a simple square. And then a blowtorch is super fun. You don't have to. It just makes it look a lot better. And melted chocolate is one other thing. I use a semi-sweet chocolate melted with a dark chocolate. It's really smooth. It makes it a lot easier, and it dries nice. And I also use an aluminum tin pan to dry my chocolate ganache. So to get started, I want to tell you about the few things that we need to put together before we can start assembling our all grown up s'mores. And first off, Chef Kelly had made these homemade s'mores, and when Kelly made our s'mores, she uses a real simple recipe, and she made sure that each one of them were the same size with the cookie cutter. So when she laid out her pan, she was just cutting them out and making sure that they're all uniform when they cook. Because when she laid out our chocolate, we melt down the chocolate ganache and then we spread it on a pan like this on top of plastic wrap so it comes out of the pan really nice. But she spreads out a thin layer of chocolate ganache and uses the same cookie cutter to cut out the individual pieces of thinly sliced chocolate ganache. And so each of those, you're going to notice the size and the shape are very similar, and that makes for a very easy assembly and a much cleaner presentation. The third part of our all grown up s'mores is, as you guessed, a marshmallow, and we found our marshmallows at the Whole Foods market, and the reason we picked these out is we didn't cut our marshmallows to look like a square. These were actually square marshmallows, and all we had to do was cut them with scissors to make them thin enough to be more proportionate with the rest of our s'mores. So those are the 3 pieces that you're going to need for your dessert. For starters, I'll show you how to assemble them with our melted semi-sweet chocolate and dark chocolate. So I'm going to take one of my little graham crackers that Chef Kelly made, and I put my melted chocolate in a plastic cup, and I'm using a paintbrush. And this is only a kitchen paintbrush. We didn't use it for anything else. It's pretty important. So I just put a little dab in the middle. We're busy. Sorry about the phone ringing. I don't know if you hear that. So, yep, I take a little bit of dab of chocolate, and I take my chocolate ganache, and I want to make sure I'm in a cool room too, because this chocolate ganache, if I was not in an air-conditioned room, it's a mess. It gets everywhere. So I do all of my graham cracker and ganache together first, and I'm just going to do a couple of them here for you. But the reason I put them all together first is I don't want to do that first. Hold on. The reason I want to put my chocolate together first is you get really messy, and you got to change your gloves after you're done assembling your chocolate ganache onto the graham cracker, because you don't want to touch your marshmallows with chocolatey fingers, because you want a clean marshmallow to be put on top. So I just did a couple here, and I have already cut my marshmallows, and I don't pre-cut my marshmallows at the same time that I'm making all of my ganache and my chocolate or my graham crackers. Both of those are done the day before. But just before, when I'm waiting for my chocolate to melt on my ganache, is when I cut my marshmallows, because they're a lot easier to manage. They don't stick on my fingers as much, and it's a lot cleaner process. Other than that, they can be a real pain, because they're still marshmallows and they're real gooey. So I have my little marshmallow, and they're cut pretty thin. Those little marshmallows that I get from Whole Foods, I can probably get sometimes 3 or 4 little squares out of each individual marshmallow. So they go on real easy, especially with the powdered outside. I don't touch the top because my fingers get stuck. I just stick it on top like this. And I'll do one more. And dippity-dab. You do not need a lot of chocolate. Again, we're trying to stay as clean as possible. I'm pretending I changed my gloves. I'm not really messy yet. But we're just staying clean. And there's my second marshmallow. And again, I'd like you to pretend that these are not torched yet, because this is what I do last. After I have imagine my entire pan full of my graham crackers, my all grown up s'mores. And I will go through each one with my torch and lightly skin the top. And lightly skin the top. And it's so fast and it's so clean, it really doesn't take, literally that's how long it takes to get that perfect little golden color on top of the marshmallow. And I try and move as fast as possible because this is melting and my ganache is melting and I've got to get it in the fridge and closed up and sealed so my graham crackers stay moist and crunchy and so my chocolate ganache does not melt. So there we have it, our all grown up s'mores, and they are perfect for any party, graduation party, adults party, kids love them, adults love them, and we would like you to share them with your friends and family. So thank you so much for joining me, and see you next time we make something cool. Perfect.